Community connections, CKMS. Local sounds, thoughts, passions, and success. Celebrate local, your neighbor's got a story to tell. Community connections, CKMS.
Happy Monday, Waterloo Region. Happy Friday, Waterloo Region. It is Friday, the 29th of September, 2023. In the studio, we have Battle of the Bands champions, 78 North.
Oh my God. Jungle, welcome to the jungle. Watch it bring it to your knees, please. I'm gonna watch you bleed. Welcome to the jungle. We take it day by day. If you watch, you gotta bleed. That's the price you pay, and you're a very sexy girl. That's very hard to please. You can taste the fried rice, but you won't get there for free in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, won't you feel my serpentine? Whoa, I want to hear you scream. Welcome to the jungle, it gets worse here every day. You learn to live like an animal, a jungle where we play. You gotta look out for what you see, you'll take it eventually. We can have anything you want, but you better not take it from me. In the jungle, welcome to the jungle, watch it bring it to your knees, please. I want you to bleed. And when you're high, you never ever want to go down. So down, so down, so down. Yeah! Woo! You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Won't you bring it to your knees? Breathe in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Won't you feel my serpentine?
Wow. This is 78 North Band here at CKMS Community Connections on 102.7 FM. Welcome to the studio, 78 North Band.
Thank you.
That was awesome. The neighbors may not agree, and I apologize to the neighbors if you're being overwhelmed by the sound. It's only an hour. We'll be done at 4 o'clock. Welcome to the studio, all of you. Do you want to introduce yourselves? Yeah.
First? Okay. Hello, I'll go first. I'm Lucas. I play guitar. I'm just so excited to be here. It's great to be here. I've never done anything like this on the radio before. I mean, obviously no one here has, but I'm here to have a good time.
Excellent.
My name's Haley. I'm the lead vocalist. I'm more than excited to be here too. This is something different for the band to try, but it's really cool to get this airtime.
Right on. Yeah, I'm Caleb. I play bass. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool.
I'm Tyler. I also play guitar, and I'm just gonna be repeating myself here because this is cool. Everybody else has already said it. This is cool. It's the first time. It's awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
My name is Luke. It's an honor to be here. It's cozy though. It's fun though.
Cozy, that's a good word.
Cozy is a good word. Intimate is the other word that I've used. Cramped
Yeah.
is another word that kind of describes the studio at the moment. Wow. So you were in the Battle of the Bands. That was taking place when? That was a while back now. wasn't it?
Beginning of April. April 5th, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Gabby Martindale-Lynn who introduced the four bands and said that you were all going to be out battling it out, and you emerged as the champions. So
Yes.
what was it that you played to become the champions of the Battle of the Bands?
Oh, that's a hard one.
We just
Yeah, who wants to take
went out
this?
with a bunch of
I feel
energy,
like-
didn't
Yeah, ending with two Guns N' Roses songs really was, like, Lucas likes to say, melt your faces off.
we? Yeah.
I feel like that brought a lot of energy. Even our opener, too. It was just, I think we did Are You Gonna Be My Girl by Jet.
We also did Black Dog.
Yeah, we
Led
did
Zeppelin.
Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. We tried to take a bunch of classic rock songs and incorporate that into our set. And the songs that we thought we played best to and have the most energy. And then we incorporated our original as well, because we thought it would be important to showcase that.
You bet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So how did you get into Battle of the Bands? What made you get there in the first place?
Someone just reached out through our website. His name was Tyson, and he emailed us and asked us if we wanted to participate in the Battle of the Bands. And I remember reading it, and I sent it in the group chat to everyone, and we're like, yeah, why not? Like, this would be pretty cool. It's a good drive, too. It makes us work harder when it comes to competition.
Yeah. And so you got in there, and were you up first? Were you up last? How did
We
it
were
go?
right in the middle. I think we
No, we
were
were
Second.
second. Yeah.
Yeah,
Up 4 bands.
second or
Five.
So
Five.
was there five?
Five.
Oh, it was five. We were right in the middle. We were close to the middle.
I had to leave for a calculus test.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, Lucas and Caleb weren't there when we won. It was just the three of us.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was Battle of the Bands, and then what happened after that? You got famous.
Pretty much. I wish.
Yeah.
That's what we like to think.
Yeah. Have you been playing a lot of live gigs? Because that was at Maxwell's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Packed house. I wasn't there. I'm sorry I couldn't make it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
There was
It was quite a few people there.
probably 200,
250-ish.
250-ish people
Oh,
there.
man.
So yeah, it was a good amount. Good amount of people.
That's a good crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how's the energy? How's the energy of the crowd?
Oh, it was so
There
good.
was so much.
It was
energy.
great.
Yeah.
Those are the best kinds of shows.
And to play, like, we play off their energy too,
Yeah.
which is even
100%.
better.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Works out that way. So when you're playing other venues, do you do things like wine and cheese parties?
Can't say we have yet.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
From the energy in the first number you played, what's that called, by the way, what you just played?
Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Jungle. Yeah, that's an original?
That's Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses.
I
Okay.
wish. I wish.
Okay.
That was the original.
Well,
Yeah.
well, it's it is very well done, and I'm sorry I don't know the Guns N' Roses catalog well enough to be able to appreciate that.
All good.
How many original songs do you have in your catalog, in your
Right
repertoire?
now we have one finished. We've got a couple others in the works. We're gonna.
So
likely-
one finished in
Yeah.
that it's been professionally produced and it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're gonna work on a bunch more originals now and see if we can get an album out.
right.
Yeah.
Do you play that a lot when you're playing live? Your original music, or
I'd say we play at most shows.
Yeah, we like to play it a fair amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah? Because I've heard that very often you get a crowd that only wants to hear the stuff that they already know.
Exactly.
What we like to do when we do it is we'll play a really well-known song into our original so that the crowd's already energized and they're into it. And then we can go into our original, and then after our original, we play another really well-known song to keep them energized and throw in our own music.
The psychology of bands.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
good.
I think a lot of people hear us play that song and they're just kind of like, oh yeah, I definitely know this song.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
well, I can't name it, but I know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of
So
those
when you are at the venues and you have a particular set list, do you play stuff in the same order every time, or
No.
does the crowd entice you to mix things up a little?
We like to switch it up. We keep a lot of similar songs in the rotation, but we switch up the orders, and we've got a lot of different songs that we can play. So it's not the same like 10 songs that we play every night, but there's a couple songs that we kind of go to that we just enjoy playing. We have a lot of fun playing it, and we think we sound good playing.
You
And a
did.
crowd favorite every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're getting regular gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, this summer we had a gig every weekend.
Okay.
After summer we kind of slowed down a little bit, but Christmas we'll likely get another couple gigs in and around that time
Okay.
as well.
Anything planned in the immediate future?
We're at Maxwell's November 13th.
Ah.
I want
No,
16th?
16th.
November 16th, sorry. November 16th, we're opening for the Brokes, which is a Strokes cover band.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to be there 7 o'clock, I believe.
And we're on at 8.
Yeah, doors open
Okay,
at
doors
7,
open.
I want to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing a wedding, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Our first wedding. If
Our
it
first,
works out.
our first, yes,
awesome.
in Niagara.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, actually at Niagara Falls, I think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
We're-
on the water.
We're figuring out the dates.
yeah, that one we're still figuring out.
Yes, but
So what do you do for a wedding? Do you play the same music at the wedding that you would at Maxwell?
We tend to offer, like we show the wedding goers our set list, and then we offer if they want to add anything or what they don't want to play and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we can learn new songs, but
Yeah.
we need.
For this wedding, it was actually someone who had come to one of our shows, and they liked us, so they
Ah.
liked that kind of music. So I've got an idea that we're going to be sticking in the same kind of genre that we're playing
Okay.
right now,
Yeah.
and kind of keeping it the same upbeat for the most part.
Right.
But yeah, we have the possibilities of switching stuff around too.
What would you do for the first dance? You know, the newly married couple gets on the dance floor,
Yeah.
and
that's
That's
a
a
question.
tough one.
If we could pull it off, I'd love to do November Rain.
yeah.
Another Guns N' Roses
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
I think that'd be awesome for a first song. I think everybody else would have a different opinion on that, but I think for me that'd probably be my go-to.
They want to run it by the couple first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd run it by the
That's a
couple
great
first,
idea.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll just be whatever they want it to be, but like,
Yeah.
you know, if we get to choose.
Off the top of your heads.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I'd go November Rain.
Yeah.
So you're well known at Maxwell's. Maxwell seems to be a staple venue for you guys. But how do you get the other gigs? I mean, somebody contacted you for the wedding, but
Sure. Hey, they do
Yeah.
you haven't got a booking agent or a manager or.
Not really. We kind of, yeah.
Haley is the booking guy. So.
Yeah, we kind of do that ourselves. I mean, we played at the Kitchener Rib Fest, also the Cambridge Rib Fest. And for that, we used to go to a music school called School of Rock. And my uncle
Okay.
ran that school. And I asked him for the contact for Rib Fests. And then he passed that down to me. And I reached out to the guy. And now he's my contact that I know personally. And he reaches out to me every year. I reach out as well, just to confirm that we're doing the shows. And it's been like that for 3 years now, I think? This was our third year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other times we reach out to the bars and venues personally, whether it's through email, sometimes Instagram too, because people answer social media faster.
Yeah.
But I have noticed that it's a lot of us doing the work too.
We're starting to get a little bit more. We've got a booking page on our website.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And recently we've started to get a little bit more traction there.
Okay.
We've gotten some more emails coming in than usual now. So that may start picking up, and that may be, hopefully at least, where we start getting most of our shows from.
Yeah.
And that's on 78northband.com.
Yeah, you
That's it
got
right
it.
there.
That's the one.
Number 7, number 8, northband.com.
Yes.
Yeah. I have all that stuff on the show notes page at radiowaterloo.ca/ccc. So anybody who's listening can check there and book you for their weddings.
Yes, do
Yes.
it. Awesome. We'll take them all.
We'll take them.
Now do me another wedding song.
Sorry?
Do you want to do me a wedding song?
A wedding song?
Sorry, I'm picking on you guys.
I mean, we can do What's Up.
I was gonna say what's
What's
up.
up?
That's good.
There you
That's
go
our
for that.
closest we've
Yeah,
got
let's
to
do what's up.
What's
Sure.
All right.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, 78 North Band, live in the studio at CKMS Community Connections.
Years and my life is still trying to get at that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man, or whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes and I'm lying in bed just to get it up. What's in my head and I've been a little peculiar. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath, get real high and I skip to the top and bangs what's going on. And I say, hey. And I try, oh my God, I try all the time. And this institution, and I pray, oh my God, I pray every single day for revolution. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed just to get it up. What's in my head and now I feel a little peculiar. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath, get real high and I scream the top and bounce. What's going on? And I say, hey, 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 yeah. I say, hey, what's going on? And I say, hey, 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 yeah. I say, hey, what's going on? And I say, hey, 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 yeah. I say, hey, what's going on? And I say, hey, 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 yeah. I said, hey, what's going on? Ooh. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a
That was nice. 78 North Band in the studio on CKMS Community Connections. I'd invite you to my wedding. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that was good. How long you guys been together?
Coming up 4 years, I think.
Can I give the rundown?
Yeah,
I'll
go
give the
for it.
Since day one. Okay. Well, it might take a minute here, but so Lucas, our good friend over here, kind of got the band going. He messaged all of us. Actually, wait, sorry. Take another step back. Lucas, Haley, and Luke all kind of met each other at the School of Rock, Kitchener-Waterloo, doing programs and stuff together.
That was just behind Duke Street over here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that still going?
No.
Oh.
So getting to that.
Sorry.
They shut down, unfortunately, and Lucas reached out to a few of us. I kind of joined, just as they closed, but Lucas and I knew each other elsewhere, and he reached out, and we got the band going. We had another guitarist at the time, and then he left the band, and we were a four-piece for
Almost a year, I'd say.
a year, yeah. And then we found Tyler. We were like, oh, gotta have this guy. We need this guy. So and then we got Tyler, and you can speak more on that.
I originally saw Tyler on my TikTok feed, him playing guitar, and it came up as like a mutual friend. But
Okay.
I kind of just scrolled past it because
Yeah. Because that's what you do.
That's fair.
That feels great.
But I kept the name in my head, and then I was at St. David's Coffee House in 2021 at the time, and I saw Tyler perform, and at the time we were forming a list of people to invite to audition for the band, so then we added them to the list and invited them.
Okay. What'd you play for the audition?
They gave me a list of songs to play.
Oh.
One of them was Black Dog, and I believe the reason I got the part was because the Black Dog harmony in the last verse, I played it. And,
Yeah, he actually learned it.
Yeah.
so
That's one thing we were looking for. We're like, this.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I guess that's the history.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
everything? Yeah.
Pretty good
Yeah.
rundown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And now,
I just
now
remember
we're here.
stalking your TikTok with Luke on FaceTime. We were just going through it. We're like, oh, we should ask him.
Yeah. TikTok's useful for that.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
is.
Yeah.
I'm glad I started posting videos.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. TikTok's limited in the amount of time you can post, though, isn't it? Like,
When I posted it, I think it was still at like 15 or 30 seconds of video. Now they're up to like 10-minute videos.
oh, okay.
So they've,
Okay.
in the past year, they've made it a lot longer videos.
All right.
Yes.
I haven't been paying attention, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So now you've got the band together. You're all in school together too, right? You're all at various
Well,
educational
so
institutions.
kind
of.
Oh,
Kind of.
okay. More
so-
complicated than ever.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always complicated. I think all of us went to different high schools except for them too.
Yeah.
And so Haley and Luke are older than Tyler, me, and Lucas.
Yeah.
And yeah, we all went to different high schools except for them. Right now, Lucas and I are at Waterloo together.
Mhm.
Haley is at Laurier.
Oh.
Tyler's at Conestoga, and Luke is in Toronto at Metalworks.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So we're kind of, well, except for me and Lucas, we're all kind
Yeah.
of we're close. The 4
We're
of us
neighbors.
are yes, we're neighbors.
Basically.
Yes, but yeah.
So is schoolwork getting in the way of performing, or is performing getting in the way of schoolwork?
Whew, that's a good question.
You two should speak more on that because we're kind of first
I
year. We haven't
guess,
had
yeah.
many shows yet, so.
I found at first it was hard to get a balance, especially juggling with all of the rehearsals that we had and all the shows that we had coming up, especially for Battle of the Bands. I had, I'm pretty sure, like a 10-page paper due on the same day.
Yeah, that was like finals.
Yeah,
finals
it
time.
was pretty close to finals. So, but I was working ahead and I found a balance. And I found that I don't know. It was like music was kind of the getaway to help with the stress from school. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
made
yeah.
it so it was like a 50-50 because I think in order to succeed in school, I needed the music to get rid of all the stress that I had going on.
Yeah. Oh, I can identify with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like coming home at the end of the night from school and just banging on the drums relieves a lot of stress.
That's good.
So I don't know. I tried to stay pretty disciplined and making sure I stayed on top of all my work.
Yeah.
'Cause when I start falling behind, and then band stuff starts
Slippery
falling
slope,
behind,
yeah.
and then
Exactly.
kind of just treading on thin ice there.
Yeah. Yeah. So how do you manage to get in from Toronto to do this?
I commute.
Okay.
My school's it's in Mississauga, so it's
Okay.
about an hour.
Yeah.
There was a crash yesterday, so it took a while, but it's the price I pay to
Yeah.
do what I want to do.
Yeah, you'll probably find that you get a bunch of gigs in Toronto too, and probably all over the southern Ontario area if word gets out that, you know.
That's the plan.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hardest thing
You heard it
is
here.
3 of them are still underage, so it's hard for us to play in bars in
Yes.
Toronto and stuff.
Oh man, that's got to put a crimp in things.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
does.
It does a little
We
bit.
still get the shows, but it's tough when you try and places like that, they want you to bring a lot of people so that they have you back, and it's
Right.
tough when we can't bring our friends
Well,
Right.
who are underage.
Same with
but-
like Battle of the Bands. It was 19 plus.
Yeah.
I remember we're like, oh no.
yeah.
Because we're like,
have no
we don't
one to
know
vote
where
for
we're
us.
going to get the votes from because
Yeah.
we have our parents that can come and siblings, but
Yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
that'll
I
wear
wasn't
off.
19 either.
Yeah. Give it a couple of years and that'll all wear off,
Yeah.
and then the world's your oyster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now that you're a band and you're all together and you're going out and phoning up venues for gigs and stuff like that, how far do you expect to travel to be able to play? You know, Toronto
That's a
maybe.
good question.
We've played a show in Toronto.
Yeah.
We played
Okay.
in just outside London.
Yeah.
I think we all are pretty good. Where if we had to commute 2 or 3 hours, we all would.
Okay.
We haven't had anything longer than that, but
Yeah.
I think we would if it was
it's
a
it's
good
fun
show.
for the band too. Like we hang
Yeah.
out all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I don't have anything going on, I don't care how far I have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Maybe get a world tour in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
2024 78 North Band Tour.
After
We're
the
coming to you,
album.
Montreal.
Montreal.
They're telling me you've got an album coming out soon. So I want to get into that. I want to find out what you're
Yeah.
doing in the way of studio work and album writing and the like. Let's have another song first.
All right.
Do we want to do the original?
Let's do the original.
Yes.
That's a good lead.
segue.
78 North Band, all from Kitchener and area here on CKMS Community Connections.
Waking up next to you is a non-stop repeated dream. Looking deep into your sky, blue eyes that beam. It makes me feel the security I need to go on. Seeing that smile lets me know that everything will work out even though you're gone. Gone. When you let me know you had to go, everything just hit at once, and I watched this flow. Oh no, 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 no. When I look back at times in the fallen snow, all the memories come back that I can't let go. I keep on imagining the day you come back and we meet once again. It's almost too good to be true, but we'll never be more than friends. Do I even cross your mind, or am I just that hard to fine. Fine. Let me in, 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 let me in. Stop, take me out. When you let me know you had to go, everything just hit at once, and I watched this flow. Oh no, 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 no. When I look back at times in the falling snow, all the memories come back, and how can we go? Waking up next to you is a non-stop repeated dream. Looking deep into your sky, blue eyes that beam. It makes me feel the security I need to go on. Seeing that smile lets me know that everything will work out even though you're gone. Gone. When you let me know you had to go, everything just hit at once, and I watched this blow. Oh no, 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 no. When I look back at times in the falling snow, all the memories come back that I can't let go. When you let me know you had to go, everything just hit at once, and I watched this blow. Oh no, 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 no. When I look back at times in the falling snow, all the memories come back that I can't let go. Yeah. Oh no, no, no. All the memories I can't let go. No, 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 no. All the memories I can't let go. Yeah.
78 North Band in the CKMS studio. You fill the studio with sound and people. This is incredible. Tell me about songwriting. This is an original. It's called.
It's called Repeated Dream.
Uh-huh.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, Haley, you.
Who's the songwriter?
Haley, you.
Haley came to us with lyrics, and you came with us with chords, right? Or bass chords?
I couldn't tell you the chords, but with my mouth and my voice, I tried to explain what it should sound like. At the time, I didn't know how to play guitar. I've now picked up how to play guitar, so it helps with my songwriting. But back then, I had no idea. So I was like, oh, it should sound like this. And for the ch-chicka-ch-chicka, I was like, you should chug it, but I don't know what the chords are. It was kind of just following along with the melody. But I remember, I think I started writing it back in grade 8. And kind of how I formed this song was I had 2 scrap pieces of paper, if I'm being quite honest, a hot pink pen, and I wrote a bunch of different lyrics on 2 pages. And then in grade 9, I kind of started piecing them together. It was like putting a puzzle together, basically, because it was all over the place. And then I kind of came up with the song, and I had an idea of the song map, and then that's when I brought it to you guys to help me like figure out the rest of the part and where, like what the chords are, where to bring in the guitar, how we want the drums to sound, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Is this the only song that you've got in your catalog, or is this one of many?
For now.
For now, like the one that's complete, but I have a whole book where I have a bunch of other songs written that I have yet to obviously bring forward, but
Yeah, we have been more focused on playing shows than we have been writing. We want to
Yeah.
kind of build a foundation, build some connections before
Okay.
we try and write and fully release stuff.
Right, and then take a break from performing for a while and do
Yeah.
a retreat for songwriting and practice. And,
Retreat, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
That's
idea
good.
for right now, I think, yeah.
Follow Queen steps and get a farm out in the middle of nowhere.
Camp.
yeah. So in this case, it was lyrics first, then music later.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always come up with the lyrics first, and then the melody sort of came as soon as I started piecing everything together. I just heard it in my head, and I sang it out loud, and I was like, wow, that works. I just kind of went with it. It's not even like I have a certain process. It's just very random. And sometimes I could just be sitting in class, and then I think of something, and then I write it down on my phone, and then I go back home and I write it in my book.
But it's always the words that come first.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's odd because I've talked to a lot of other songwriters. And they say it's about half and half sometimes, and you know, very few of them actually say it's always lyrics first or it's always music first.
Yeah,
So-
I'm probably about 50-50. There's
Really?
times
Yeah.
when I'm just like, something comes to my mind, but then there's other times where I'm just like sitting at the piano or sitting with a guitar in my hands or sitting on the drum kit, and I'm like, you know what, this works.
Yeah.
Got any of your songs that the band's playing or will play?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll probably
Come on.
eventually all bring stuff forward and
I think everyone's kind of got a lot of their own parts that we've got to kind of bring together.
meld
Kind of
together.
like we need each other to complete the song. We can get a start, but then it's like you need all five.
Okay, well that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool because you get in some bands you get the one singer-songwriter who does all the work and then the rest of the band follows along and plays the music, but doesn't contribute that much in the way of the original creativity. So it's
I-
nice to hear that you're all doing
I
it.
feel like for us writing original music, we all have very different music tastes.
very different.
Yes, that's a
I'm
good point, yeah.
I'm into very classic rock, where like Caleb's into like super heavy metal. Luke's kind of into like the newer 2000s.
Yeah, rock and stuff.
So, if we were to write music on our own, bring it to the band, and play it as a band, we would be like so many different genres. So we need all of us to be in on writing one song in order to
Okay.
make it a 78 North song. Otherwise, it's just
So is that a
it'd be so
problem?
different.
Having multiple genres that
I
you're
don't
playing in your
know.
repertoire?
Not at all. I
It's-
think
no.
it's a great thing. Yeah.
I think like when we play shows too, it's nice because then it's more appealing for the audience because you're gonna have some that love classic rock, but then you have some people that like the music that Luke listens to. For example, Arctic Monkeys, that's kind of more modern, so then you'll have a younger audience that would like that and appreciate that.
Yeah.
So it's a balance, I guess, from all five.
You're playing some good bluesy sounding music there too, so
Yeah.
it's a whole genre there that'll open you right up.
Yeah.
Blues festivals all over the country.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you hoping to participate in festivals? Is that festival circuit something for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
do that.
Ribfest it's a
I'd count that as a festival.
It's festival
it's a fair
enough.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fest is in there, so we'll count it.
you? Okay. Yeah, I guess that counts.
I don't know do you know what kind of other stuff's in KW? I know they have the Blues Fest. We don't really do any particularly bluesy stuff, so I don't know
Okay.
about that, but
There's the Blues Fest. I'm not sure of any other music-specific festivals, but Kitchener is really well known as a blues town. We've
Yeah.
got a couple of fairly big blues and rock bands.
Steve Strongman.
So
Shout
Yeah.
out to Steve Strongman. Shout out to Steve Strongman.
it's the town for Mel Brown, right? So everybody here likes the blues, and everybody all over likes the blues. So you can't go wrong with that. All right. So now you've got your songwriting in place, or you used to have a process for that. You've got an album coming out that's going to have all original music on it, or will there be some covers on there too?
When we come to the time that we're ready to release the album, I think all originals probably is what we're
Excellent.
gonna shoot for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you'll have to deal with licensing if you're doing covers, right?
Yes.
Nobody wants to do that.
No, I don't
That's
wanna- I don't wanna
difficult.
deal
That's
with that.
complicated.
Maybe later. And hopefully somebody gets to cover 78 North and, put
Yeah.
that in their repertoire too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So the album, how do you pick the songs for an album? I mean, if you've got Haley cranking out the tunes and others contributing as well, how do you pick what goes on an album?
I'd say we'll eventually all sit down and discuss what, like if we have a pool of like 15 to 20 songs, let's say, we'll probably all sit down and discuss what songs fit best together. And we
Okay.
might ask a recording engineer what he thinks or she
Okay.
thinks
Yeah.
as well.
heard a lot about producers who actually come in and guide the musicality of the band. You know, more guitar, less bass. Sorry, oh, bass over there. But okay, more bass, less drums. How's that?
I can't reach over there to pat you on the back, but I would.
So you haven't got the songs picked out yet for the upcoming album,
No.
Not yet, no.
but you've had one venture in the studio where you did Reveal.
Yeah. That Repeated Dream, it was like a 2-day
Yeah, we recorded it in
process
2
to
days.
record that
2
song.
days. Okay, that sounds pretty fast, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the plan. We wanted to do it
yeah.
as quick as possible.
Okay, studio time's expensive, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and we just tried to get it done as quick as possible. I think the plan was to go back actually and get it done better.
Okay, always room for a second
I kinda
edition.
like it right now, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. But
No.
So when you've got that one in the can, how do you play it when you're playing it live? Does it sound at all like your recorded version? No.
I think it sounds very different from the recording.
yes.
If anything,
Yeah.
we will speed it up a bit.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
So
Yes.
our recorded version is at a slower beats per minute.
Okay.
But when we play it live, especially the first minute and a half, 2 minutes of the song, kind of like doesn't lack energy, but it's more of a mellow vibe compared to when the guitar solo comes in.
It sure steps up in the middle.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll like try and just kind of make it more, have more energy at the start.
Does it depend on the crowd too? So you
Yes.
change the
For sure.
tempo of the song
A
if
ton.
the crowd is more energetic?
At Battle of the Bands when we played it.
Oh, it was so fast.
Oh,
We
so
played it-
I know
it was
I
so
was like
fast.
spitting out words.
We played it. Yeah, we had a ton of energy. So
Yeah. Well, I feel like it was kind of what Tyler was saying earlier before too. It depends what song we have before it. So if it's a really high tempo, high energy song, we don't want to get off of that high that we're feeling. So we kind of bring that into our own original when we play it.
So where'd you go for the recording? What studio?
we use Sam Hilfer.
Oh, Sam Hill from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Sam's a famous drummer. So we had him on the show. I think he was the very first band that we had in the studio way
Oh,
back
right
in
on.
2019. Yeah, he and Kevin Paisley, Parallax era. So yeah, cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he help you out with the production at all? You know, tell you more drums, more bass, that kind of thing?
He never once said like that doesn't belong. He was
Yeah.
he was very
He was-
encouraging, and it was more, if you add this, I think it will add a lot to the song.
And he's 100% on the train of we can try it, we'll do it. He never says no to trying anything.
Okay.
If we come up with an idea that we want to do, he'll do it. We'll listen to it, and then we'll decide if we like it or not.
Okay. Okay. That seems like a good low-key way of doing production.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was lots of room for creativity too. And we felt very comfortable trying different things, especially because you were recording your vocals as well.
Oh, yeah.
And like he just made us feel very comfortable. I was nervous to record vocals for the first time. I was like, I had my headphones on. And I was like, whoa, I can really hear myself.
Yeah.
But I felt very comfortable. And he reassures you. And if you feel like you want to do another take, he's like, yep, no problem, immediately.
Okay. So I was like, yeah, it came out pretty good, I think. And then you want to redo it though. So what would you improve on for the next go around?
I think it ultimately will depend on how the album sounds.
Yeah.
Because you don't want one song on the album that is just has different tones and has different.
So you'd re-record it to fit with the rest
Yeah,
of the
or
recording
just
in the
change
album.
some of the
Okay.
tones or levels just to like. But that's like a mastering thing when
Okay.
the album's all done.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How about music rights? Do you have to deal with SOCAN and ASCAP and all those organizations like that? And
Yeah.
how do you do that?
We use SOCAN. We still haven't released Repeated Dream yet. We're hoping to do that within coming months.
Okay.
As a single before we release the album, but we've had a bit of trouble with SOCAN. Like not like in a negative, just like we've had
Yes.
trouble signing up.
Yeah.
Oh, I can
But
believe that.
once everything gets straightened out, we'll probably end up releasing it.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got our SOCAN audit coming up probably by the end of the year. So hopefully you'll get your song registered by then, and we'll play it on repeat and get you some of those big royalties that SOCAN is so famous for. Do you have another song for me?
We do.
Yeah.
All right.
Which one do we want to do? That one?
Okay, Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of a switch here. Our guitarist is gonna switch over to bass, and our bass is gonna switch on to guitar.
Okay.
Just be a second before we can.
Tyler, what song's
Alright.
doing? I can't. Okay.
So
Oh yeah, you can't see.
Can't
That's
see,
fair.
yeah.
does that make them multi-instrumentalists or?
Yeah, we all are actually.
Yeah.
I am I'm the vocalist, but
Mm-hmm.
I also play guitar, and I initially started playing the drums before I
Oh.
even started singing. Then Caleb, he's got guitar, his bass, and you play keys a bit too. Sometimes you
Yeah.
dabble.
I dabble.
Yeah. Lucas, he's got guitar and bass. He can have a solid drum beat too. And then Tyler, guitar, you can play bass too, and then piano.
Yeah.
You're looking at doing some Elton John.
Oh, I want to play Elton John so bad.
Yeah. And then Luke plays literally everything.
Yeah.
Drums, piano, a little bit of guitar and bass, but
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
I
All
try
right.
to play drums. It doesn't sound great, but I try.
So what makes you switch up for this particular song? Why is it necessary to pass the bass on to the other guy?
In the beginning of the band, I think me and Caleb, I don't know, it's just been an agreement. We've both played guitar and both played bass, and I think it's really cool to set up set lists like that. Being
Okay.
able to play a show and halfway through, and like what we're doing right now, be able to switch on the fly and play different songs.
Cool.
It's brings a whole different energy to playing, different look.
It's just us. That's what we
And
do.
that's us. Yeah.
That's what we do. We
and
switch
that's what we were taught at the School of Rock. Was
Exactly.
We were taught to play multiple different positions in the band.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, we kind of just carried it over, and I don't see many bands doing it in KW, but
No.
I think it's kind of cool.
I did too. I think it just shows that we have variety.
Yeah, shows our musicianship.
Yep.
Okay. So what's on tap here?
A Whole Lot of Love by Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Ah. All right. On CKMS Community Connections, live in the studio, 78 North.
You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to school way down inside. Honey, you need, gonna give you my love, gonna give you my love. Want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love. You've been hurting, baby, I've been learning. All them good times, baby, baby, I've been learning. Way down inside, gonna give you my love, gonna give you every inch of my love, gonna give you my love. Yeah, want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot of love. 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 You need cooling, baby, I've been drooling. All the good times, baby, baby, I've been misusing. Way down inside, honey, you need gonna give you my all, gonna give you my all. Yeah, alright, let's go. Want a whole lot of love, want a whole lot
Good rock and roll songs never die. That was great. What makes you choose particular covers from particular bands? I mean, there's Guns N' Roses in there, Led Zeppelin. Why those?
It's so whenever we go to learn new songs, all five of us choose a couple different songs, and it really just depends on what we listen to at the moment.
Okay, so very variable
Yeah.
as the mood strikes you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no deeper meaning. We
No,
want to play
yeah.
a song and we learn it and we play it. It's fun.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, and it takes some skill, I guess, to be able to grab something that you've heard. And do you have to buy sheet music to be able to play this, or do you just do it by ear?
I do everything by ear.
Same.
I don't know how the guitarists do it, but
Yeah.
I kind of just listen to the song and figure it out.
Yeah.
Are you looking at me like I'm gonna go?
So there's a website called Songster that it has really good tabs for almost every single song. So when we're stuck on a part, we always go to that to figure it out.
Okay, so the music's available to you if you need it.
Yeah.
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 So when you're playing live then, do you get the requests for the covers? Have people requested the things that you're playing, or is it strictly something you've requested from amongst yourselves?
Majority of it is ourselves, I think.
Yeah, I think too, we notice what artists people gravitate towards. So Led Zeppelin, Guns N' Roses, we get huge reactions
Okay.
from the crowd. So we take that into consideration. And then when we want to add new songs, we're like, oh, we started with Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses. We're like, that's great. And then we're like, oh, we should add another Guns N' Roses song. And we play Sweet Child of Mine. And that's a huge crowd favorite too. So we
course
kind
it
of just
is,
play
yeah.
off of their reaction.
Okay. And then if the crowd wants something else, do you have a sufficiently large repertoire that you can switch up?
Yeah, we could pull something out of our back pocket.
Well,
Yeah.
we did not even think that What's Up was going to be on the list.
Yeah,
today.
exactly.
We pulled that one out that was a while
Yeah,
ago.
wedding
We played
song.
That one, so.
Well, that turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
What's coming up in the future? So there's the album, there's a gig at Maxwell's,
Yeah.
and then what happens after that? Do you plan on that, Richard? Do you plan on sitting back and doing some of the recording?
It'll be Christmas time probably after
Yeah,
the
actually,
Maxwell
we're
shows.
coming into.
And Christmas time is very busy with company parties and people
Ah.
having parties. So
Right.
we'll probably in the new year sit down and start writing, or sit down and start recording
Okay.
stuff. But I feel like we'll get a few more shows before the end of the year.
Okay, that's good. Keep us informed.
Yeah.
We're trying to get into the music scene a little bit more at the radio station. Hopefully be able to cover some live venues and take our recording gear out there and do some live-to-air broadcasts. And that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So after Christmas, it's the new year, and I guess that's when you'll start concentrating on the album then, or will you have that out?
No, we'll probably start concentrating on it then. It's
Yeah.
after Christmas, shows kind of just die off.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
no one really.
Yeah.
wants
Everybody's
to-
burnt out from Christmas.
Exactly.
Exactly.
All their wallets are burnt out from Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that'll take you what? How long will it take? You're figuring on what?
A couple months.
5-6
probably.
songs on an EP, or 10, 12
We'll
on an
probably
album?
do like a double-sided EP, so a part 1 and a part 2.
Oh, okay, coming out in 2 separate releases.
Probably, and then we'll probably
Ah.
combine them at some point.
Okay, cool. And how long will that take you to work through, do you think? How long did it take you to do the single that you've got out now, or that is about to be released now?
I
That
mean-
song was pretty. It came about pretty quick, but it took
Yeah.
us. I mean, we're still like refining it to this day.
Yeah, when I initially brought it in, I'd say we worked through it within that one rehearsal, and we kind of had like a roadmap of what we wanted the song to be. And then after that, it was just like fine tuning. And then it actually took us a bit to get recorded, but we just never got that far. We're like, oh, let's just play it out at some venues. And then we got it seriously recorded and then
Yeah.
changed a bunch of stuff when we were in the studio. So I feel like that's kind of what's going to happen for the album that we want to put out. It's like you have an idea coming into the rehearsal, and then you explain to everyone kind of what you're expecting, what you're looking for, get their input, and then piece it all together.
You're going to workshop the
Yeah,
songs.
exactly.
Workshop the songs in a live venue. Will you play it to an audience before you sit down and say this is how we're going to record it, or will you record it first and then take it out on tour?
It probably depends what is
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like if we have a couple shows maybe in March or April, and we have songs done, we'll probably play them live and see how the crowd reacts, and then base stuff off of that. But if it's still pretty slow in March and April, we'll probably just record them before we play them.
Yeah.
We don't like to make a schedule for things.
No, we
Kinda
don't.
just- we're very unorganized in that way. We kind of just go with the flow, but it seems to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's worked so far. So
Yeah.
knock on wood, but
Yeah.
And then after the album's out, you're back to touring again for the summer, playing those Rib Fests and other festivals.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe more weddings. Who knows?
Maybe
who
more
knows?
weddings, yeah. Private venues.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see that as the mainstay for 78 North, at the private venues or the big festival? I mean, you've got a big sound. I can't see you sitting in the back corner of a restaurant noodling along, while the...
I personally love outdoor shows. Those are my favorite. I know that not all the time everyone's paying attention, but everyone's there and everyone's listening, and you get a big audience, so you're being heard regardless.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get an audience that comes to the front anyways, like at Kitchener Rib Fest. We had a bunch of people at the front of the stage and it was great, and we play off their energy. I think it's also on us to call the audience to come up too. That does change the shows. Sometimes if we didn't interact with the audience as much or we don't ask them to come up, no one will do it. But if we suggest it or say,
Yeah.
hey, I want to see some people up front, that's when we get the crowd coming in.
Yeah, that helped the Battle of the Bands a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
The first band was very good, and then we just like fed off the energy they already left from the crowd, and we just called the whole crowd forward, and
Exactly.
we did that very early on in their set, so it was like very energetic our whole 30 minutes we had ish.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Catch them early and hold on to them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and just keep throwing out the bangers and
Yeah.
end with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, do you want to play me out with something? Because we're almost at the end of our hour here.
Yeah.
And,
Do a little bit of an outro song.
Bit of an outro song,
Yeah.
and then can take over till the end of the hour.
Perfect.
You've been listening to CKMS Community Connections for the 29th of September 2023. My name is Bob Jonkman. We've had in the studio 78 North, a dynamic power band native to Kitchener, and the winner from the Battle of the Bands. I'm going to take us out with something. What are you going to be playing?
We're going to do Certain Romance by the Arctic Monkeys.
Excellent. CKMS Community Connections is a production of Radio Waterloo. It's sponsored by Radio Waterloo. Executive producer is Jennifer Strong. Associate producer is Jeff Stager. The opening theme music is by Stephen Todd. CKMS Community Connections airs every Monday at 11 a.m. and alternate Fridays at 3 p.m. Okay, take me out.